What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be kind of a different video, something I hadn't done in a while, and I wanted to do some cooking. I don't love to cook all the time, but when I get in the mood, I kind of go a little bit crazy, and so I'm going to do a little bit of cooking today because I wanted to try a new recipe. This recipe is one of Eva Shockey's recipes, and I know it's posted on her website. I'm not sure if she's done a YouTube video on this or not, but it was posted the other day, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. And so I wanted to find some new recipes since we got all of our meat back from this previous deer season. I wanted to try something with some deer meat and see if it would be any good. So today I'm going to do her sweet and savory meatball recipe, but it's Wildgame. So I'm going to leave a link for all of her things down below if you want to check out her YouTube channel. She's just amped it up and started doing a lot of cooking videos and vlogging, and then also Instagram and website, different stuff like that. I'll post the link directly to this meatball recipe if you want to check it out for yourself. She used antelope in her recipe, but I'm just using whitetail deer. I am also mixing it with regular beef, so I'm mixing those two in together just because I wanted more meat and I needed 2 pounds for this recipe, so I was like, why not do half beef and half whitetail deer? So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm also gonna be making some scallop potatoes for tonight too, because that's one of Hunter's favorite dishes. I myself really enjoy it. I just love to have any kind of potato with meat, so that's just gonna be for supper tonight. And I figured I would just go ahead and film it for you guys since I haven't put out a cooking video in a hot minute and I miss doing that. Just an insight here, I had to plug up my laptop to the countertop so I could actually look at this recipe while I'm doing the recipe, while I'm showing you guys the recipe. And I'm also charging my phone back here because I edit on my phone and I upload on my phone 100%. So my phone is almost dead this morning and I'm having to charge it while I'm also uploading my previous YouTube video. So you guys will see that video. If you haven't already watched it, go watch it. But it's uploading right now, and so now I'm trying to film a current video. And I had to turn the TV on for my kids so that they could watch Minions in the back room so that I could get some peace and quiet while I cook. And I'm also out of breath and a little bit hungry, so it's just a lot to YouTube sometimes, and that is why it takes me so long to do things like this. Alright guys, so this recipe I felt like was pretty easy overall. All you need is like a 13x9 dish. You could definitely switch it up with a different size dish if you want to, because I had a lot of meatballs left over after I completed the dish fully. So you can always, like I said, do a larger pan than that if you'd like. But we're just going to use some jalapenos, some onion, and green bell pepper today. Just cutting all those up into fine pieces. I kind of wish that I had left them not so small, but at the same time it was still good all together. The mixture was wonderful by the end of this recipe. I really enjoyed the taste. I did get out 2 jalapenos, but then I decided to just do 1 because I didn't want like a crazy kick, but just a little bit of spice, so I did add that. And I do believe that I did this differently than Eva Shockey's recipe, so this video is basically my own interpretation of this. I just changed a little bit just because I didn't have everything that she used, so I just kind of went with things that I normally would put in a recipe like this. I'm telling you what, guys, I don't know about y'all, but maybe it's because I'm pregnant and I'm having a baby in September, but I am so ready for the fall season to get here. Just obviously the cool weather, it's going to be a little bit helpful for me, and getting this baby out, deer season coming, all the smells, the comfort foods, like I'm really genuinely looking forward to it this year. The thing that I loved about this recipe also is that she only used a teaspoon of each ingredient basically. So it's very simple. You can add or subtract how much ever you want of each spice or ingredient. So I did a little bit of eyeballing, and then I also kind of followed the recipe along. And then I used some Ritz crackers. I think I probably used more than recommended in this recipe of hers. I think I used maybe like almost 2 sleeves of Ritz crackers, just because I personally love Ritz crackers in any recipe. And so that's why I added some more for the taste and whatnot. I also use this little utensil. I want to say I have this posted on my Amazon storefront, because I use this little utensil for everything. It's the best ever. I might even leave a link for it in the description box down below, just so you can get one for yourself if you don't already have one. So we mixed the meat together, we did the Ritz crackers, we did all of the seasonings, and then I threw 1 egg in there. You could definitely probably throw 2 eggs in here if you want to. Like I said, this in particular made a ton of meatballs for me. So I had a lot of meatballs left over that I just put on a separate dish. But I ended up sifting it in with my hands just because it was easier to maneuver. Obviously, I poured all the vegetables into the dish and prepped those underneath all that. I kind of wish that I had used more of a variety of vegetables, but like I said, I only had so much, so I was just doing what I could with what I had. These were also pretty large meatballs that I was making here. I was kind of just following along with the recipe. You can always make smaller meatballs and more of a variety, just like you would, go to the grocery store and buy a bag of meatballs, and then they're, a lot smaller and there's a lot more of the meatballs. But I did them pretty large, and like I said, I did these pretty big and I still had a lot of meat left over. So you can always turn around and freeze the leftover meatballs, which is great because then you have, a second meal there that you can fix later on if you want to. Another thing that I kind of made up on my own, because like I said, I didn't have exactly the same ingredients. I did make this sauce with a little bit of different things. I used some Kinder's garlic butter. I used some Allegra steak seasoning, put that in there, some ketchup, brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, different things, and then I just poured it over top of the meatballs and tried to cover them as much as I could with this sauce. And here it is cooked. I did put mine in a little bit longer than recommended in the recipe, and it's only because my oven is a little bit slower when it comes to cooking things. Everybody's ovens are different. They cook at different rates. So I did add this a little bit, I did add a little bit of time onto this, but everything was so good. The scalloped potatoes made everything so much better, and this was a pretty easy and pretty delicious dish. I highly recommend it.